Hi everybody! Today is the exciting video about transfer day, because transfer day was such a lovely day. It was very special and it was just a very big day basically in the lives of Ben, Mark and myself. After my experience of what my body had to do and having a bit of frustration about things not happening on the time they were supposed to happen, I felt very relaxed going into the day because I knew that it wasn't up to me to organize anything. All I had to do is show up and relax basically and leave it up to the professionals. So I really did feel that way, although I did feel a little bit like I felt the nerves a little bit when it comes to recognizing what a massive day it could be. You know, not everybody knows exactly when they got pregnant, but for me there would be absolutely no doubt. And yeah, in that way it would be very big because that would be my first pregnancy. As soon as I started going into it and went to the clinic and went through the procedure, I must say that I now have I already had, but I have just a massive respect for any woman going through IVF. It is really, it's an intense experience to go through, and of course in the clinic they treat it like a normal procedure, which it is for them. But for a woman it's a very big moment because you can become pregnant, and especially if you had negative experiences with pregnancies in the past, I can understand that this is a very big thing and scary, very scary, because after the procedure basically you have to relax and you just don't feel like you want to move because you want the baby to stick in there and stay in there for a very long time. Yeah, so in the morning we did some research and saw that and the surrogates also suggested that acupuncture was a very good thing to try beforehand. Research shows that it really helps when it comes to IVF if you have acupuncture beforehand. So I did have a session in the morning, which was absolutely lovely. The lady put some needles in my head, some in my arms. I had a couple in my belly and then a few around my chins and my feet. I think a couple in my feet, yeah. And she put like a heat lamp on my belly, which just felt so amazing and so good. So I could have just lay there for hours, but I think it was half an hour to 45 minutes, half an hour, I don't know, I almost fell asleep. But in the meantime the guys were having breakfast. I had to have a full bladder, which is difficult to time because the transfer was at 11:30 and you don't want to have too full of bladder that it hurts. So it was difficult getting a balance because of course now that you know you're not allowed to pee, it's the main focus in your head and all of a sudden you have to go, and this is hours before the procedure. Anyways, it was interesting. We went through a walk through the park before we went into the clinic, and while we got there, basically they had a form for me to sign. Was it? I think it was, yeah. And I had to put the gown on. The guys had to put the gowns on as well, and then I had to walk into the theater room, which was just that, a theater room. You would have thought that they would have made something nice and calming about it, but the lights weren't calming, shining in my face, and I was very, very happy that the guys were there with me. It was really helpful having the guys there. The nurse that helped me around, she didn't talk a lot. It was more like with small grunts that she kind of pointed out to me what I had to do with either my arms or my legs, and if I had to keep still, which was interesting because I would have liked to have somebody to kind of talk me through it. And then the doctor, she explained the procedure beforehand, but it was more like a ABCDEFG kind of thing, and while she was doing it I couldn't see anything because the sheet was covering my legs, so I couldn't see anything what was going on. So I had to ask her what was going on, and I got the feeling that she didn't really appreciate me asking, so I didn't ask that much. What they did was they got me all ready with the gown and everything, and then they brought in a catheter, basically make sure that the bed is made for the little embryo. And in the meantime the lab was getting the embryo ready. Now this was very special. This made me tear up, and it still does every single time that I talk about it, because the embryo was so beautiful. Like literally, I saw there was a TV screen, and I didn't know what it was for, but all of a sudden we saw the Petri dish and it had my name on it. I had to confirm my date of birth, and I wanted to check that it's actually the right person, which is a good thing to do, I think, when you are getting somebody pregnant. And you just saw a lot of water, and you could see the camera moving, and all of a sudden there it was. It was like the most perfect round little hobnob, like the color, the texture, and it was so beautiful. And it just kind of took me back. I didn't know that it was going to be in color. I didn't know it was going to be so beautiful, and I literally started crying, and I had to force myself to stop because my belly was going like that. Made it all really, really real. And they did the transfer, the actual transfer, and after I had to lay down for a couple of minutes before I could walk around, the guys went and got changed, and the nurse helped me up. After that, I was allowed to go to the toilet, which was scary. I felt a bit delicate for the rest of the day, I must say. So we went back to Mark and Ben's place where I was staying, and I just laid on the couch. I was horizontal for the rest of the day. I was very tired. I think it was just emotionally draining a little bit, you know, that is such a big thing. And so that was transfer day, and yeah, it was life-changing for me. I have a big respect for any woman that goes through that experience after of having negative experiences with pregnancies and miscarriages and things not working out. Yeah, massive respect. So that was my transfer update. I hope you liked it. If you like the video, give me one of those. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, that means that you will get an update, or you will see my video immediately whenever I upload a new one. So that means that you don't have to look me up. So make sure you subscribe so you'll get the next video as well. Next video will probably be in a little while, and just give you a general update about the 2-week wait probably. And I hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.